Alright, good morning guys. Nick with NK Landscaping. We're going to be doing a new job today. Got everything in the truck loaded aside from the excavator. So we're going to be doing some foundation sealing. I got the buckets in the truck here trying to warm them up. It's not too cold this week luckily, so that stuff doesn't spread very well in the cold, so we'll warm it up in the truck. But we got everything we need aside from the excavator here. I'm letting that warm up. And then we'll make our way over to the job. It's just right down the road. So it's a tiny one. It's only like, I don't know, maybe 18 to 20 feet. We're just digging down and sealing. The client didn't really want anything more than that. Yeah, it's been a semi-long weekend. We finished Tivoli last week on Wednesday. Thursday was Thanksgiving. Friday we got rained out, so we got a long weekend, and today is Monday. So everybody's kind of getting back in the groove from Thanksgiving. This is really the last week, I'd say, of work. We have a bunch of jobs scheduled to finish this week off, and then it's going to be maintenance. The dump truck, we still got to fix. We've been doing a lot of rust repair. We had to replace some cross members for the hydraulic pump for the dump bed, and then the dump hydraulic pump itself we have to replace. The trucks all have to get fluid filmed. That's one of our plow trucks, and then the truck that Kurt's in, that 2500, the mowing crew truck, is also a plow truck. Plows have to get assembled and tested. We're running a little late, but when I get my attachments, I should just need the digging buckets. So I'll probably go with the grading bucket, the 24-inch digging, and maybe the 18-inch trenching bucket. So I'll get these the pallet forks dropped here, and we'll get loaded up, and I'll check in with you guys in a minute here. I lied, we're not leaving yet. Gotta grease the machine up. Fitz is just going around with the rags and some WD-40 cleaning off some of the grease on the machine. Really bugs me to have grease all over the machine because it gets all over trees and things, and Fitz really likes cleaning the machines. We haven't had a good day. Usually when we have some downtime, we'll get the rags out and we'll wipe the machines all down. So we're getting to it. Alright, let me get this thing greased up. We'll get moving on here. Alright, we gave the machine a little quickie. It's just like when you're running the machine, you see grease splattered all down the side and all over that. It's just, I don't know, bothers me. So, like I said, we're going to be finishing up the season here by next week or so, depending on if any jobs come in. So I'm going to bring this thing back to my house and give her a full degrease and a full wash. We run, you basically put diesel in a little canister or bucket or pail or whatever you want to call it, and you wipe around all the joints and you get all that big mass of grease out, and you can really clean this thing down to nearly brand new. Hit it with some purple power degreaser, some pressure washing. We'll have this thing looking brand new again. So alright, we're gonna get this loaded up, get over to the job, start making some progress. Check in with you in a minute. Alright, we're here on site. Workstation is over there. We're gonna get unloaded. As you can tell, this is kind of like a one-lane road, and right there is a Jeep that's kind of in the road. Somebody from Jersey. But we're off the road. The lake is right down below us here. So we're gonna get unloaded, show you what we have to tackle, and then we'll get to it. Alright, so that was our access. Just tracked here across the lawn. That's where we're parked. You can see we're on a slope, and this is what we're working with. So from the stairs there to the corner of the house, it's maybe 20 feet, 25 feet. We have the septic here to worry about. I'm thinking that the pipe goes that direction, but we're not sure. We got access hole. There's something right there which could be a junction box for the fields. We have a foundation drain that's already in place, and some electrical that we got to watch out for. So we're gonna dig right basically from the corner of the stairs here. We don't want to undermine the stairs, so we'll probably start 2 feet out and work our way down. So I'm just going to strip off this topsoil here with the grading bucket, then I'll switch to the trenching bucket, and we'll get this dug out here as best as we can. So you may or may not have saw it in the video, but we hit some white drainage stone, and Fitz said we found a little pipe, so we're gonna hand dig around that. I think that's whatever this little divot is. I don't know if it's for the foundation drain or if it's for the septic. There it is. It could be electric. I'm not really sure. We're gonna check here, get this hand dug, and then we can continue figuring out what to do here. Alright, so that pipe that we found looks like it may have something to do with a sump pump. We actually popped apart the Fernco fitting, so we'll have to snap that back together after we get a little bit more of this dug out. So I'm going to kind of do a little more of the bottom section here. The leak is not here in the house. The leak is right down here. And I'm almost wondering if it has something to do with the hole in the wall that that pipe is going through. We did go in the basement earlier, and right in that area there's like a cutout in the drywall with a copper pipe doing a loop. I don't know if that has anything to do with this. There wasn't anything showing any sort of pipe coming through the wall where that pipe is, so I'm not sure what that's for exactly. I'm thinking a sump pump, but we'll excavate around this a little more, do a little archaeological discovery. So we'll see what we can find. I'll throw you guys up and we'll get digging. Alright, we've been digging for a little while, a lot of hand digging because of these pipes. I'll show you what we've found so far. So over here, you can see right there, we found the sill plate. We dug a nice 6-8 inches below that. Then over here, we have what is the gutter drain. It goes towards the bucket right there. That makes a 90 into this gutter drain and then shoots uphill. We have these 2 wires. Don't know what they're for. They also kind of follow this pipe. Maybe there's power to the garage. I don't know if there's power down there, or carport, or whatever you want to call that. Then we have our, what looks like a 1.5 inch hard PVC Schedule 40 pipe into a 2 inch. I think that's probably a sump pump that probably goes into some sort of drywall right here. I don't know. And then up here we're hitting some clay pipe. Not sure what that is. So the 2 issues I see here that could cause some water ingress. This thing, I don't know what this is. It's part of the foundation, unfortunately. We can't really chop it out. And then the gaping hole in the wall for the, what I assume is sump pump. Or laundry. It could be a laundry drain too that goes into a drywall. You never know with this kind of stuff. So we're gonna continue hand digging. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get down to the sill plate. I do not want to undermine the stairs, and the water problem is in this area, and I'm thinking that's a good culprit. So as long as we get back kind of to where that step is right there, I think that'll be more than enough digging, and we'll seal. You know, the foundation is sealed up there. It is not sealed below this chunk. So we're going to continue hand digging in here, kind of figure out what we've got going on, and then come up with a game plan from there. It's always fun doing this exploration. Alright, this is where we're at. So we have everything excavated up to maybe 2 feet past this pipe. And what we did here, we found that there's some drain stone and some filter fabric. So that's going to allow me to assume that this pipe down here that comes this way, you can see when you pull the gutter out of there, it's a T that goes this way. So that's going to be perforated, most likely. This is just an assumption, but we're going to leave that. So we'll seal here down. We're going to fill this hole so that, you know, eliminates that leak. We'll fill it, seal all around this thing. I don't know what this is. It looks like there's a crack in the foundation there. So maybe they just dug a hole around it and poured some concrete in there. That's what it looks like. Like we said, power for the carport, gutter. I believe this goes to the corner of the carport and then comes out onto the road. That's the way it looks, at least. So we're gonna run out, get some stuff to seal that up. That'll give the foundation sealer a little time to warm up in the truck as well. And then we'll come back and finish up sealing. Today we will not be able to backfill. It'll be too wet. I'm gonna attempt to come back tomorrow after I have a job with the skid steer tomorrow. Shouldn't take a full day, so we'll see if I can come and backfill tomorrow. If not, Wednesday looks like rain. Thursday we're going to A&D Equipment's, throwing a Steelwrist demo. not just Steelwrist, but basically all the equipment that they sell and service. So we're going to that. Me, Kurt, Steph, and Fitz. And if we don't get back to it until then, Friday, we'll get back to backfilling. So let's run to the store, get some materials, and keep on moving. Alright guys, we're back on site. We got some stuff, had a lunch break. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. It's the Great Stuff Big Gap Filler. So the issue that we're facing, and the reason I chose this, is normally we'd mortar this, and in this case, the reason I'm not doing that, this hole is pretty deep, pretty big, and it's a pipe. So this PVC is going to contract and expand. So the mortar, when it dries, actually shrinks a little bit. So it's not going to fill this full gap around the pipe, and it's going to leave an area for water to go through. This should fill that gap and then expand around, and then we'll just trim the excess. And with the weather, the time schedule that we're on and everything, it's going to rain later this week. The mortar doesn't dry very fast. We could use the fast drying mortar, but I still think that's not going to work as well. And this will work. It's supposed to be waterproof, and then we'll seal right over it. So Fitz is going to start sealing down at the bottom, work his way up. This should take like 15 minutes or so to kind of harden up enough for me to cut it. And then by the time we get here, it should be hard enough to coat it. So we're going to get going here and see how this goes. So I'll check in with you in a minute. So while we're waiting for this to dry here, I want to try something out. So currently the GoPro's in super view. That allows me to get the widest field of view here, and that helps kind of ensure that I don't miss anything. But if you notice on the edges, it's a little funky, especially when I move around. Now when I'm editing, I don't really notice it a whole lot. The other day I watched one of the videos on YouTube full screen. Kind of threw me off a little bit, so I'm going to try something. So here's super view, here's wide view. So I'll have to look this back over later when I edit, but I'm going to see, maybe I'll try wide from now on. I don't know, we'll see if that makes a big enough difference to swap it. The only thing, like I said, it runs the risk of me not being able to show you everything. But hopefully when I'm pivoting around, which I do a lot, this is going to get a little less of that bending around the edges. So we'll let this stuff dry here and bring you back in a minute. Alright, so I still got you guys going on time lapse, so I broke out the second camera. Quick tip, this stuff, when it gets on you, there's almost no getting it off that I found. Or is there? So I find good old brake cleaner, takes it right off. Because this stuff, if it gets on your clothes, that's a different story. You're not getting it off. A little bit on the rag, hand. Gone. So I just got a little bit on my clothes, which is unfortunate, but it is how it is. So we're gonna wait here for the grate stuff to dry a little more. And I can trim it, but we got the majority of the sealing done. And yeah, let me show you. Okay, so start down here at the bottom. You know, we still have to do a touch-up layer, but this is higher than the ground is going to come up. Nice thick coat. We're going to seal this whole thing in a minute. And a nice thick coat up to here. So I actually went right up against the siding right there. We'll get as low as we can. I'm going to trim that grate stuff in a minute when it dries. We'll go all around that on top of the grate stuff. I'll trim this grate stuff over here, and we'll paint this whole thing. So that should, in theory, stop the water from getting in the house right in this area. So I'll check in with you in just a moment. Well, I mean, you guys are still going on time lapse, so you're watching me walk around. So yeah, give us a few minutes for this to dry a little more, and we'll get to it. So we got the majority of this sealed up. We just found another hole, so we hit that with some more grate stuff. We were gonna trim it, and then I didn't. It wasn't hard enough yet, and it didn't seem like it was gonna harden up enough by the time we needed to get out of here. We're getting into our second can here just for a last little bit of touch up. And then yeah, this has to dry. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow to backfill this, but who knows? Depends on how tomorrow goes. Kurt showed up to say hi as well. So we'll get this opened up, mixed up, let that new grate stuff a couple more minutes, and it should be hard enough to paint over. Touch up the last little bit of everything, make sure there's no little parts peeking through, and yeah, that'll be a wrap on the ceiling, at least for today. Oh, nice can of the good stuff. Ooh, right on the, oh man. Well, alright, we'll check in a minute. Alright guys, my other camera died, but that's a wrap for today. We got, oh, excuse me, got everything sealed up. So when we come back tomorrow, hopefully should be able to get everything backfilled. So alright, check in with you guys when we get back to this. Alright, good morning guys. Day 2 on this ceiling job. So it's going to rain here pretty hard. We're actually getting a pretty bad storm with some wind. That's happening here within an hour or two. So the goal is to get this thing backfilled, compacted, seeded and strawed, and get out of here. So just started the machine up, gonna let it warm up, and then we'll get started backfilling this. It's gonna be fun. All right, machine is warmed up enough. I'll set you guys up most likely right here and watch us backfill this and get it all wrapped up. Alright guys, we're just about finished. Quick, easy job. Fitz is finishing up the last little bit of straw. We got everything smoothed out as best as possible. This is going to settle some over the winter. Unfortunately, the grass is probably not going to grow, being that it's so cold. And I don't see it getting much warmer this season. We're going to get some rain later today. Like I said, pretty bad storm. So we're going heavy on the hay. Hopefully we fixed all the problems on this foundation. I mean, like you saw, there were holes in the foundation. So sealing those up, getting it, you know, great stuff, and the sealer, everything, I think that'll fix them up pretty good. So not too shabby. We're gonna get ready to get out of here. Machine's loaded up, as you can see. That's the last little bit where we tracked in and out. But as usual, thank you guys for watching. It means a lot. Comment, like, subscribe if you want to. If not, it's okay with me. But we'll see you on the next one. There will be lots of next ones. Never stops. Well, from me and Fitz, we'll see you later.